What's up, guys? You are on the air and off the books with Bethann and Samantha. And today, we will be playing a little game. This little game is called Would You Rather?
We're just going to do a little something, old school,
Yeah.
Throwback to some questions.
Some very important bookish questions that we need to know.
And that you need to answer.
Yes. Okay, so
we can judge you.
We're getting to it because this is very important.
This is very, very important. And
okay. What? What are we having? What are we doing?
No, I was just saying, and also because we're recording later in the day, and you're peppy and now I'm tired.
Yeah. So obviously we got to play a little game. Okay.
Well, pick me up.
All right. Question number 1.
Yes.
Would you rather read from hardback, paperback, ebook, or audiobook? You go first.
So, this is the thing. Buckle up, guys. This is going to be a long one. I just feel like when I'm buying books to put on my bookshelf, I don't want hardbacks. I always buy a trade paperback version. If you don't know what a trade paperback version is, it's the bigger paperback.
That you can trade.
No, I'm not trading with you. It's the bigger, floppier paperbacks that they come out with, and I don't like the mass media paperbacks. The little...
yeah, I like the big floppies, too.
Yes, and that's the only one that I collect. I like those. Or, I would say the only hardbacks that I really have on my shelf are, limited edition or, leather-bound copies of things. I do have quite a few of those. So it just depends.
But if somebody held a knife to you and said, read one of these.
It would probably be an ebook.
Really?
Yeah, well, I have my Kindle.
Okay.
I love my Kindle. I'm just that guy. I can't help it. I love my e-reader. So, everything but a hardback. Even though that's not the answer to the question. But if I had to read from something, it would be an ebook.
An ebook? Okay.
Yeah.
I think mine would be a big old floppy paperback. I want nothing to do with an audiobook. I do like to collect hardbacks, but I don't like to read from them because you have to take the dust jacket off because you don't want your fingerprints all over it. And you also don't want it to be flopping around everywhere.
Or getting chewed up and stuff. You know what I mean?
Bent and whatnot. My second choice would be an ebook, though, because I do ebooks quite frequently.
Same. So mine is ebook, then floppy paperback, and then yours is floppy paperback, and then ebook.
Yes. Last in the trash can, down in the hole of doom, is audiobook.
Mine is hardback because my next in line would be audio.
I just can't do an audiobook. Can't do it.
Why?
Tried, can't.
Sometimes I just need to get through some things,
I feel like if I listened to an audiobook just to get through it, I would have no idea what even happened. I would listen to the first couple sentences and then my brain would just run away.
I'm just going to say that if I didn't own Words of Radiance in every format imaginable, then it just wouldn't even be as far along as it is now. Because, I get in the car and I can turn it on and then I can go home at night.
Yeah, but then how do you know where you're at?
Well, Audible, not that I'm Audible, if you want to sponsor me, you should, because just saying, Amazon, well, I use your services quite a bit. It syncs the ebook and the audiobook together. Oh,
so you get the ebook through Audible?
Yeah, because I got it for free.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
So, yes. Okay, so... Would you rather crack a spine or ruin a desk jacket?
Both are horrifying. Okay, I'm going to say ruin a desk jacket because then I can buy a new one.
Oh, yeah, because they've got all those fancy ones on Etsy right now. You can get, for special editions and stuff like that.
Yeah, but if you crack a spine, why?
Well, considering the fact that all I really have on my bookshelf are paperbacks... And when you crack spines, it really makes the integrity of the book fall apart. Because generally, nowadays, peasants, they don't sew bind books anymore. They glue them. So if you set your book out in the heat,
all of your pages will fall out.
All of your pages will fall out, and Samantha knows this from experience.
Yes.
So my thing is like, why would I, like, literally, like, audibly crack and bend and gross up a spine knowing that the integrity of the book isn't going to last? Like, it's one thing for me to have a book that I've reread over and over again, and then over time it gets wear and tear. You know what I'm saying? Like, it naturally kind of, like, wears into itself, because that's the beauty of a paperback. But I don't want to just grab a book from Books A Million that I paid $20 for, that's a paperback, come home, and then go ham. Like, I'm just asking for it to fall apart, and then what are you going to do? Then you have to pay to repair it, or you have to get a new one.
And then you can't even sell it if you don't like it, because nobody's going to buy your cracked book.
Right. And then, like, the dust jacket, I don't collect hardbacks anyway, so I don't even care about your dust jacket.
Yeah.
Also, if I do get a hardback, the dust jacket goes in a pile. I just throw it in a pile, and then I leave it shirtless.
You do?
Yeah. All nakedness, man, because I'm not going to be pulling it in and out of my bag, in and out of its book sleeve, and shredding the dust jacket on it.
I normally don't take the dust jacket off. Well, I normally don't read the hardback, but...
Well, see, that's the thing is, like...
If I did, I would take the dust jacket off, I guess.
Yeah. You would have to, because, like, some of the stuff that... But my thing is, if I'm collecting a hardback edition of that, it's probably a special limited edition.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be running around with it in my hands, going to the pool and reading or something crazy like that, so...
But my other pet peeve is when you take the dust jacket off, sometimes the ink will, like, get all over your hands, like, from the cover.
Oh, yeah. Like the fluffies of the cover or something like that. I know what you mean, like the dusties.
Yeah. Like, especially if it's, like, black or, like, a dark color, it'll get all over, and I don't like that.
That's why you make yourself a book sleeve, and you pop your book in a book sleeve, and it protects the thing, man.
Protection.
Protection, always. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at you.
Okay. Would you rather meet your favorite book character or your favorite author?
My favorite book character.
Same.
Because I feel like if I met my favorite author and they sucked, I would just be devastated.
Yeah. We know our favorite book characters don't suck.
Right, because, like, I've had, like, you know, like, it's been, like...
You just know them.
You know them, because it's, like, an intimate, like, I know you, I've been inside your mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Almost, actually, maybe we shouldn't, because that's awkward. Because if your favorite character, if you've been all up in their business, in their business on this book, I don't think I could look you in the eyeballs for one.
I could.
Knowing what I... So it's like, yes, please. I don't think I could, like, look at you like that, knowing where we've been, like, and what you're telling me, and you didn't know you were telling me. It's just like, oh, yeah, I knew that had happened, or like, oh, how's so-and-so?
Yeah, sometimes I feel like authors, maybe, like, especially, like, really popular authors, I'm always afraid they're going to be snobby.
Yes, or they're going to be rude, and then when you meet them and you're just like, haha, and you have the worst time ever, and then all your books that they wrote you are ruined.
Yeah. Then
because they're a bunch of butt faces. So, book characters, who would you meet?
Oh, gosh. Resand. And then we would get married.
You know he's taken. Yeah. The man is taken. And also, I don't want to even look him in the eyeballs after reading that series.
For now.
I know. Here comes me.
Here comes me.
Here comes Miss Stelia, man.
the girl you didn't know you needed.
Oh my god. Don't.
Sorry, Nolan.
Don't go out here home
he would you know what? He would agree with that. He'd be like, you know what, you go for it. Resand is everything.
Would he?
Yeah. He'd support that.
That's so interesting to me.
He'd be like,
yes.
Oh.
That's weird. Okay. Okay. Would you rather read romance for the rest of or nonfiction?
For the rest of your life.
Yeah, would you rather read romance for the rest of your life or nonfiction? Why'd you put that in
Okay,
there?
now let's be realistic. There ain't no way you would read nonfiction over romance for the rest of your life.
This is hard. That's not fair.
That's why I put it down there, because I know that you would be so mad at me for doing it.
am. That's not fair, because you know I'm going to have to say romance, because I can read romantasy, because that's as close as I'm going to be able to get to fantasy for the rest of my life.
Specific on the romance.
I know, romantasy is what
Anything with romance.
Well, then I'm reading romance for the rest of my life with fine print. Read the fine print, ladies and gentlemen. I just can't get into nonfiction.
I think that if you read enough romance, you would just become a romance reader, because you'd have to.
Well, if I have to read it for the rest of my life, I will.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to.
Point here. Yeah, I definitely read romance.
I was going to say,
you could not pay me enough to read nonfiction.
Me.
If somebody said, "Here's $2 million to read nonfiction forever," I'd be like, "I'll take your $2 million, and I ain't reading anything ever again."
I mean, that's the only way to be able to do it. I don't know. I haven't found a lot of nonfiction. I really like a story, man. I really like a story. And nonfiction tells a story, but the driest of stories sometimes.
Also, like, my whole life is real. It's nonfiction. So why do I just want to keep living in my nonfiction life?
Now, don't get me wrong. If you love nonfiction like that and that appeals to you, the knowledge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great. I'm glad for you. But for me, it just doesn't...
Not glad for me.
It doesn't make my soul have joy.
Yeah.
You know, and what does Marie Kondo say? Is it Marie Kondo? Whatever your name
Marie
is.
Calendar?
Are those pies?
Yeah.
Whoever says something about making you happy and such and minimalism and stuff. She says something about, does it bring you joy? And
pies bring me joy, so it must be Marie Calendar.
Them pies, it's pumpkin pie season.
Marie.
Thanks, Marie. Appreciate you.
Sponsor us. Free pies.
Hey, Amazon and Marie Calendar.
What an odd combo.
Don't think about it too hard.
All right. Would you rather reread your favorite book once a month or never read your favorite book again? Dun, dun, dun. What would you do?
What?
Would you rather reread your favorite book every month or never read it again?
I thought it was reread your least favorite book.
No.
Wait, what?
So you read your favorite book every month, and then you just read it so often that it might ruin it for you?
Oh, nah. I don't have a lot of favorites.
What's your favorite?
I reread... The shade in that. For real, though, The Hobbit, or I like Fahrenheit 451. That's one of my favorites. Those I reread. Those are really the only books I reread. I don't reread a whole lot.
So you'd rather read it once a month and never have to read it again?
Yeah. And also, Fahrenheit 451 is short. So is The Hobbit.
Yeah.
And I can always read it as an audiobook. And the NPR has a great dramatic telling of The Hobbit. You should try it.
Yeah, I agree. Although I think I would definitely get sick of it and it might not be my favorite book anymore if I had to reread it every single month.
Yeah, but then you'd be like a pro. Maybe you could I don't know. Then you'd know it inside and out.
I'd be like the book pro on that book specifically. They'd need to hire me for something. I don't know.
But also, you reread a lot of books lately.
Yeah, but not once a month.
Fair.
Now, I could rewatch Vampire Academy once a month and be happy and happy and happy and happy.
Really?
Yep. The show, the movie, even though the movie's trash, but it's the greatest trash. I will be watching that.
Tombstone, I could watch once a month.
Nolan was watching Tombstone yesterday, and he was like...
He better not have said ugly things.
You gotta tell Bethann. Oh, it's his third favorite movie series.
That's right. That's right, it is. Yeah, it's a movie. It's the best movie ever. I love Tombstone.
It was very something else.
I love Tombstone. What?
There's a lot of cowboys.
Is amazing. I love that movie.
There's a lot of cowboy things happening.
Dude, in the cast of characters, those are some hunks, okay?
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott is the guy. I love Sam Elliott. He's my favorite.
The guy.
He is the guy. But that cast of characters, they did an amazing job casting all the people they did for that movie. Fight me about it. And if you remake it, I swear on everything, I'll punch you all in the face. Because, listen, you can't.
What if they remake it with Sam Elliott?
Oh, Sam Elliott is just... He's
he
tired.
dead?
Let them... No, he's not dead. Let the man rest. I love Sam Elliott. He's my favorite. I named a cat after him. That's how important he was.
Good old Sam.
Good old Sammy boy. Is it my turn?
Yep. We're on number 6.
I don't have mine highlighted like you do. I'm not prepared. Okay, would you rather lose your place every time you read or get a paper cut every time... Lose my place. I don't have to finish that. Get a paper cut every time you read?
Yeah, I would probably lose my place, even though that's like my biggest pet peeve ever. Especially like when my Kindle sometimes doesn't sync with like my online Kindle.
Yeah.
And then I'm like having
that
to
kind of sucks, yeah. So, I mean, we already do that anyway then. So it doesn't even matter. I don't want a paper cut.
We don't need no paper cuts.
I get plenty of paper cuts working in a library, and I have one on my knuckles right now.
On all of her knuckles. She's just paper cutted them all.
Dude, I have paper cuts all the time. Or like the cardboard cuts that we get sometimes from working with. Oh, dude. Severe pain. No.
10 out of 10 would not recommend.
Would not.
Okay. Would you rather have someone ruin an ending or never finish a book? Someone ruin every ending or never finish a book.
What?
I would rather have somebody ruin an ending because I'm not going to lie. I used to be the person that skipped to like the last 2 chapters and read it and then like reread the book from the beginning.
You're just like my mom.
Because I just needed to know.
Last page and read it and then she'd be like, yeah, I'll read this. I'm like, why? Because you know now. Like, just throw it away.
I used to do
Get rid of it.
Or I would go, this is really bad. I would skip through every chapter and read like the last page of every chapter.
Samantha! My gosh. Dude, you can't do that.
I've grown up since then.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I guess if I could never... I would have to have him ruin an ending.
You can't not ever finish a book.
Well, I don't ever finish a book.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe you should choose that.
Oh, it's funny when you roast yourself. All right, would you prefer info dump on a world or magic system or a drip feed technique? Which, in layman's terms, means that you're taught or you learn the magic system or the world / politics throughout the reading of the book instead of just having it dumped like a bucket of cold water on your head. I like drip feed.
I think it depends.
Depends.
Like, if it's not, like, important to the story at all, and I didn't need to know, like, why the dirt was green or something like that.
What does that have to do with politics or magic systems?
Maybe the green dirt magic is magical.
The green dirt magic.
Yeah, the green dirt magic. If I don't ever need to know why the dirt magic is green and what it does, then you know what? Dump all that info on me at one time because I don't care.
Yeah, but also, like, why is it in there if I don't need to know about the green dirt magic?
Listen, sometimes people just be putting things in there and I'm like, why? Why?
We don't need extra fluff, guys. We need things that matter.
We don't want fluff. Okay, so in that case, I'll do the drip. The drip.
Drip.
No fluff. Thanks.
Drip, no fluff.
Drip, no fluff.
We need a t-shirt that says drip, no fluff.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's very clever.
Write that down.
TM that.
Yep. Whatever that means.
Trademark
it. Your turn. My turn? Would you rather...
No, it's my turn.
Okay.
I was like, what? Would you rather jump on board with a book series and wait to see if it gets traction or wait for a successful book series to be brought to your attention?
I just want to jump on board with whatever I want because I do what I want.
I
don't care.
Have trust issues, okay? And if it's not known to be good, I don't think I want to waste my time and find out for myself. I need somebody to influence me. You know?
Why?
'Cause I don't know.
But if you like it, then why not just read it?
But what if I don't like it?
Then you just move on.
Yeah. So I don't want to jump on board because I might not like it. So I'm moving on.
But what if they recommend it to you because it's successful and then you hate it anyway?
And I'll stop reading it. And I'll keep letting people recommend things to me.
I would just rather find something I like and be like, yo, I'm going to read this. Interesting. So you want success. You want success. You want like...
I don't know that I want success. No, I just want somebody to tell me they love it and that I need to read it.
I do that all the time and you ignore me.
I don't want to go blindly into that.
I don't want Bethann's recommendations. It's fine. Listen, it's okay. Your silence is enough.
It's all right.
Would you... Happens every day. Would you rather read duologies, trilogies, or standalones? If you don't know what a duology is 2 books in a series.
A twofer. Trilogy.
Trilogy is 3 books in a series. Or standalone, which means it's just 1 book with the whole story. Shebang, bing, bang, boom. I would read a standalone.
I don't want a standalone. I want a trilogy.
Well, considering I'm super slow and you're real fast.
Yeah.
I think standalones are better for me.
I need it to continue for 40,000 books, and I need it to stay focused on the 2 main characters that they started with. I don't want them to be switching to any side characters. I don't care about them.
You got that?
You had me invested for 4 books, and then you just decide to switch? No.
How dare you?
No.
The offense is real.
How dare you do that to me? I had so much time and emotion and money invested into these 2 characters, and then I go buy the 5th one and it's JK, not even about them. You know what? That really ruins my day. So
that's why I'd rather have a standalone.
Standalone, I'm just like, okay, it's done. Are we getting a book 2? And then when we don't, I'm like sad about it.
I feel like it's odd that I would choose standalone because a lot of fantasy isn't.
Yeah.
A lot of fantasy is series oriented. I think my problem is that I'm just so slow. And I end up loving it, but it takes me a year.
What's the longest that it's taken you to read a single book?
Probably a year and a half.
A year and a half? No, what's the one that you were reading forever? It was like the historical fiction one.
I never finished it.
Exactly.
So that doesn't count.
It was like
it's
2
3
years.
Yeah. 3 years. It's
what
so sad. Silka's Journey.
Yep,
and it's still on my
journey.
shelf, and I'm like 60-something% through. And
she's
every
like,
time I am going to finish it, it's just every time I pick it up, it just gets sadder and sadder. And
how do you even remember what happened?
Oh, I remember.
I would never remember.
It's literally about this woman who's in Siberia who gets herself in she's stuck there because she was put in a concentration camp, and the men of the concentration camps, the Nazis, abused her. You know, use your imagination. I did not have to go there. And then she gets taken and put in a Siberian war camp to work in these mines. And then these men come in every week and do the same things to her. And it talks about how these women have these babies because of all of this stuff that's happening to them. And they go into these motherly wards and how these babies live in these daycares and how, like, dude, it is so devastatingly sad. And, like, I want to know, like, how she gets out, how she finds love, how she, like, heals and, like, all this other stuff. But, like, to get there, a lot of children have to die, and it's too much. And it's taken me years.
3 years.
I would not recommend that book if you definitely need to read all the trigger warnings and things like that in that book if you would like to read it. But it is a good historical fiction.
Okay. Would you rather read self-published or traditionally published authors for 2 years straight?
I want to know your answer first.
Traditionally.
That's what I thought. I would rather read self-published.
The only reason I'm saying no to self-published is because sometimes they don't ever continue, and then you don't know, like, how great the quality is going to be because they don't have any, like, a team that it's going through.
Yeah, like multiple editors and
things like that. And it really, really, really kills me when I'm reading and I see, like, an error, like a spelling error.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I just can't. I'm just like,
So I figured you would say that for this reason, is because you do read a lot of romance.
Yeah.
And I tend to see that a lot of self-published romance is kind of sketchy.
Sketcheroo.
And it gets really niche. Like, a lot of the self-published or indie-published romance that I see is very genre-specific inside of romance. And like you said, you don't really know what you're getting. You're not sure, like, what the content and stuff is. And if you go through a traditionally published, romance book, it's a lot more consistent. You know kind of more what you're getting. There's more information about the book, more reviews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't read romance, so I read a lot of fantasy. And I tend to, right now, let me just segue. Right now, actual epic fantasy is kind of dying out for publishing because romantasy is where it's at. And so they're not really publishing a lot of fantasy authors, or if they're publishing them, they're cutting back word counts and things like that, so they're not being able to publish the things quite the way that they want them. So in my heyday recently, I have found a lot of indie published fantasy authors that are so fantastic that are just not going to be traditionally published. Or if they do, they'll be picked up so much later. So indie for me, because it's a lot more freedom for the writer as far as world building and creativity. Traditionally published for Samantha because she likes her smut specific.
Yes. Also, I have read a lot of self-published books, but they always usually end up getting picked up by a publisher.
You're very particular about the way things are written.
So,
which makes sense as far as the genre that you're reading from.
Yeah.
I think it all depends on the genre.
Depends on that genre.
Depends on the genre, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where are we at? 12. Look at that. Would you rather listen to your favorite book as an audiobook narrated by the worst narrator ever, or never read it again?
This is the worst question.
This is the hardest question, yeah. Because a bad narrator for an audiobook, that is some serious suffering, man.
I think I'd have to literally never read it again.
But
I'd have to find a better, a book that I loved more.
Yeah. I think I agree with that. Because, if you ruin that experience for me, the way that I hear these people in my head, or, the way that you portray the voices and things like that, I cannot. So, what's that book? Novik or something like that, I think is her last name. I can't remember. But she writes the, she writes the fairy tales, but they're a dark fairy tale, a fantasy. You know who I'm talking about? Is it Spindle or something like that?
Yes, I know what you mean.
Well, everybody really, really loves the first book that she wrote, so I picked it up and I was going to listen to it as an audiobook because it's a big book. And the narrator is, I think, some kind of a Slavic accent, a very hard, very guttural accent. Mm-hmm. And for me, I couldn't understand. She had no inflections, no tone, no separate voices, no it was very just.
I can't do that.
Rough, and I was like, I cannot.
I hate audiobooks in the first place, so I could not.
You couldn't even bear the thoughts of having a bad narrator?
I would cry forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, I would have to never read it again as well, because it's just I read it once, I appreciate it.
It can live in my head forever, just not in my eyes forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, last question. Lucky number 13. Would you rather have a disappointing end or unfulfilled cliffhanger, or lose your favorite character?
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, the unfulfilled cliffhanger situation
is the worst.
I will literally...
Natasha Preston.
I will pitch you off a building. I cannot.
Natasha Preston, all of her books are unfulfilled cliffhangers.
Yeah, I think I'd rather lose my favorite character.
Yeah, because, somebody else can become my favorite.
Well, also, you know what? And, they can still be my favorite and be dead.
They can Games of Thrones it and kill off the best character in the first freaking book. It's fine.
That's okay. I'm not bitter. But like
might DNF it, but
it's like, okay, we're done. But that's what I'm saying is like, I spent all my time getting to this ending and then you disappoint me.
Yeah, why would you do that to your readers? They're just going to be mad at you.
Or then you cliffhanger this, and then there's no sequel.
It's one thing to cliffhanger, but you can't cliffhanger without
and then not go on.
Clear things up in the next book, or just be like, oh, haha, it's a standalone.
Or like, yeah, haha, this was for you to figure it out.
Yeah, we're not telling you.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am, sir. No.
Or
just kill him.
The first book, what really makes me mad is like if you're really reading like a trilogy or more than that, and the first book ends on a happy ending, and you're just like, well, what's next then?
Oh, like it doesn't feel like there's a continuation.
Yeah, like everything
like
just
you're content.
ends.
Yeah.
Like, and you're happy and you're like, okay.
So when Twilight first came out, I read the first book.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is great. Like, it's over. It's fine. Like,
yeah.
We all had an okay time. It's kind of weird, but, whatever. And then, like, the series went on, and I was like, what? Because it just kind of ends in a way that you think it's just like they'll just kind of be happy ever after in their weird vampire-y goodness. And he'll be creepily staring over her for the rest of eternity, and then whatever. But then they keep going, and then it just gets more and more weird.
Yeah.
I just can't get over about the baby and the whole ripping the baby out of, like, ew.
Yeah. I've watched those movies so long ago. I don't even know. I feel like I definitely finished the series, like, reading it. I definitely remember being in the middle school library and just, like, checking them out.
I love how you were in your middle school library reading this, and I was in high school reading it.
You're like, college.
No, I'm not that old.
Yeah, no. That, and then, oh gosh, another series I remember checking out it was called Camp Confidential.
That sounds so familiar.
It's about these group of girls and boys that go to this summer camp, and there's like little kid romance, of course, and drama and friendships. They break up friendships, and it's cute. And then another series I super read. Have you read the Mediator series?
Mediator
by
series?
Meg Cabot?
Mm-mm. Is this the one where in the wards or whatever?
No, the girl gets struck by lightning.
What?
And she develops like a...
Oh my god, no.
She can talk to ghosts.
No!
It was so good. I loved it.
It's like the ghost whisperer for kids.
But then she the house she lives in has this like old ghosty guy, but he's younger, but he's from back in like the 1800s or whatever. So
he's still thousands of years older than her, and it's still weird.
But they fall in love.
Oh my god, he's like 1,000,000 years old.
Oh
gross.
Man, I need to reread that series.
Okay,
that was so good. I don't know. That might not be the one where she got struck by lightning. There's one where she got struck by lightning, and there's one where she can talk to ghosts. I don't know if they're the same ones.
Listen.
I read them so long ago.
Find those things. Get back to us.
There's one where she's like...
Not that we don't work in the
zooming around on a motorcycle. I think that's the one where she got struck by lightning.
Ooh,
and she's
she got struck by lightning on a motorcycle?
Think so. I don't know.
That lightning moved fast today.
And she's like investigating things. I don't know.
And then she wakes up and sees the killer. I know now.
Yeah,
it's like Psych, but real life.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
That's Princess Bride. Oh,
yeah.
Also the best movie.
I've never seen it.
What?
So.
You were married to Nolan and you've never seen The Princess Bride?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Wow. I love The Princess Bride. What a gem. Read that book, let me tell you.
You didn't know that you were going to be getting 27 book suggestions at the end of this episode, but...
If you walk into this thinking you're not going to get 27 book suggestions walking into this podcast, I don't know.
If you have, like, elementary school children, I could give you, like, 47 book suggestions.
The Bad Guys. Read The Bad Guys. Read Captain Underpants. Read Dogman.
Did you ever read the books where
Princess
those
Harriet.
girls were in an attic, and there was a chest in the attic? And they opened up the chest, and there was, like, all of their grandmother's, like, old-timey clothes and stuff, and whenever they put the clothes on, it sucked them back into that time period.
I feel like our age gap is really real when we compare
The Dear America
movies and
books.
No, I never read any of that.
You didn't ever read Dear America?
Oh, Dear America or American Girl?
Dear America.
Oh, I read Dear America all the time. Those were my favorite.
Yeah,
I used to have this subscription.
Wow.
I know, and you would get like a craft every month. Like an old-timey craft that related to the book that I have a whole shelf full of.
What else?
Why are you guys doing stuff like that?
Saddle Club?
Publishers? No, I was too
The Saddle Club? Heartland is a book series. Let me just throw that in there.
No!
The Boxcar Children.
Okay, yeah, that was OG right there.
OG. The Magic Tree House, which I've bought for my son.
Harriet Hamsterbone or Dragon's Breath by Ursula Vernon. The Amulet series, that's a recommendation from Brando Sando himself. We like those. They're a little more middle grade. They get a little scary. What else? Yeah, we have all kinds of recommendations for you. You should chat us up, man.
A billion recommendations.
I'm reading I'm reading a lot right now, but I stumbled upon on Libby something called The Nest. And I'm not talking about the middle grade one that I just read. That was a horror. But there's another one. And it's like a series that they publish that this publishing company picks up, and they're called Paperbacks from Hell.
Ew.
And it's all just these weird, mass media paperbacks. And there's one called The Nest, and it's about this nest of mutant bugs off of, New York on this trash island that, drank blood.
Cute.
Cute. And it is so freaky to me. That's true horror for me.
Yeah, I don't know if I could read a bug book.
I'm gonna try. I probably will DNF that. I don't think I can handle it actually, but I'm ready for a good scare.
Neverkeep came out yesterday. The first book to the Sins of the Zodiac series by Caroline Peckham. Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti.
Is it Peckham or Peckham?
You don't know. It's a mystery. Same people who wrote Zodiac Academy. It's a series that takes place in the same world, but totally different. They do not intertwine, intersect, smush together.
It's a standalone, but not. You've been there. You've been to this world.
Yes.
You just don't know these people.
You do not have to read any of their other books to read this series, and I'm really excited. I don't know how I feel about the main characters' names. Everest is giving Paw Patrol. Vesper is giving, I don't know. It reminds me of the movie Luca.
Them on the search for Vespa.
I could not stand that movie because of how often they said the word Vespa. I could not. I had to turn it off. D and W. Do not watch.
Do not watch. That's funny.
Did not watch. No.
I've seen it too many times. It's on my nerves now.
Yeah. So we gave you guys
Vespa and Everest from Paw Patrol.
Yep. So we gave you guys a billion book suggestions for literally all ages.
And a lot of things to think about.
Yeah. And think about them and then join us. Listen in to our next episode. Email us at offthebooks@khcpl.org. Tell us if our suggestions were amazing or if we need to step up our game. Because we will. We will.
I'm sensitive.
We'll step up our game.
Are we? I thought we were doing good.
We are doing good. But...
What is happening?
It's just one of those days.
Just be nice.
Yeah, don't yell at us. We'll cry.
That's true. Those are facts.
Come up to the library. Check out all of the books that we gave you because pretty positive that
we're here every day.
Yeah.
You can just come talk to us,
Gonna be requesting Neverkeep to be purchased.
Yes.
Excited for that. And yeah, come in, check out some books, and have a great rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye.